to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is my very first 1 week Me Made of 2023. So thank you so much if you are joining me and have followed me before and you've seen all of my, or been seeing some of my Me Made weeks that I've done in the past. And if you're new, hello and welcome, and I hope you enjoy what I'm going to do. So just in case you haven't seen this before, this is where I follow myself for a week. I don't follow myself. I video myself for a week of each month, and I just do a little snippet from each day, and hopefully I'm wearing Me Made each day. And if I am, I just share with you what I'm wearing and my thoughts and feelings on it, because it's normally something that I've made in the past. So whereas on my makes videos, I will share with you the makes and sort of, maybe the sizing or the difficulties I had with it and all that kind of thing. This is sort of like a delayed response to that and how I felt about wearing it. Maybe it's to do with the style, maybe it's to do with the fit or something like that. So anyway, that's what my Me Mades are all about. My 1 week Me Mades are all about. Anyway, I am at home today. You'll see I've got glasses on today. I don't normally wear glasses, I know, I'm normally a contact lens wearer, but I am really struggling with my sight at the moment. I think it's an age thing, which is very upsetting. And these are my brand new glasses. I got them about 2 weeks ago and they are very focals. And I have to say, they're fantastic. I can see up close and I can see far away, and it's absolutely brilliant. It took a little bit of getting used to, a few days, because they were a bit strange. But anyway, I really like them, and I'm hopefully sorting out my contact lenses so I can wear my contact lenses equally as easily as I'm wearing these glasses. Anyway, enough about glasses. You don't want to know about that. So I'm working from home today. It's my first day back for the accountancy firm today. It was bank holiday last Monday and I only really work Mondays now for them. So I am working today from home. I have really struggled this morning with my motivation. I had in my diary, my 2023 diary, and I've been doing lots of planning with it. And my first thing for today was get up and go for a run. I haven't, because I've been very lazy and stayed in bed far too long and procrastinated and went on my phone, and then that was it. I went down a rabbit hole on my phone. But I am hoping I'm going to go for a run a little bit later on, and yeah, so I've really got to crack on with some work. My house is an absolute tip, and can you see just here, I have left up this Christmas decoration by accident. This is a little felt booties, or stockings with all the numbers of through December. And we've packed all of our Christmas decorations away. And I'm sure everybody does this, but do you have that thing where you end up with one decoration that you suddenly go, oh, I haven't put that away? And I keep seeing it and going, oh yes, I must do that. And while I'm sat here videoing, I can see it. I'm like, oh yeah, I still haven't done that. I've got loads of dishes to do. I haven't made my bed, and I've got loads of housework to do as well. But anyway, it's fine. I've got to concentrate on this work. And if I'm really good and I just really get on with it, I might get it done nice and quickly, which would be good. And then later on today, if I can, I'm going into town just literally to go and pick up some printing. I've had a pattern printed off at Net Printer, and Net Printer is a company that prints sewing patterns and other things, and I've sent off some A0 files for them to print for me, so I'm going to go and pick them up. And when I get back, I will talk to you about the pattern that I am going to hopefully make at some point. But anyway, I'll show you what I'm wearing today. So this is the Jennifer Lauren, it's all a bit folded up under my dungarees. The Jennifer Lauren Gable top, I think it's called, and you can make this in a t-shirty fabric or you can make it in a fleecy. This is actually a French terry, so it's got like a loop back to the back of it, and it's like a cream and navy blue stripe. The neck, sorry, I'm going the neck is at a height that you want it, so it comes with quite a bit of a variation of the neck, and you basically sort of fit it to where you feel comfortable with it. And I quite like this. This gives it a real kind of is it boat neck kind of style to it. Now I made this top, this was actually part of a kit from Guthrie Ghani, and it was one of their Sewing Society kits. I really like it, and I love looking at the Sewing Society kits. I have got quite a few, and it is my plan this year to really get a whole load of those made. And if I don't make them all, to potentially pass on one or two if I think I'm not going to make them. So I'm going to be really strict with my fabric purchases and my making and things like that this year. Try and be more mindful. Anyway, so I've got that on. I really like it. I'm going to be sat at home all day today. I've got a radiator next to me. I haven't actually got the heating on at the moment, and it's not as cold as it has been, but if you're sat still, you do tend to get a bit chilly, don't you? So I've put something a bit warmer on, and I've got this on with my Heyday dungarees. So I've got my dog in the way here. These are my Heyday dungarees. Now, I have become a bit of a fan of dungarees. I really love them. I like the fact that you can put them on and they're just comfy, sort of stylish, but not really over the top stylish. You know, they're kind of, they just feel a little bit funky. I just really like them. And I've got these are like rolled up at the bottom. Oh, and I've got my very sexy slippers on. And they've got pockets on the back. And on the back of this one, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got a little label that says "To me, from me," and I got that as part of a thank you from Sew Hayley Jane when I subscribed to her Sew Hayley Jane boxes for a year, and she popped those in, which was really nice of her. Unfortunately, I don't subscribe anymore, but that's just because I've got so much fabric. I just needed to stop all subscriptions for a while, and I top stitched all of it in a cream top stitching thread, which I quite like. And they've got these little sort of ties, and the good thing about these, they don't have any fastenings, which make them really easy to make. I mean, they are other than the top stitching, they're actually a really super quick make to make, because it's literally two fronts. Is it two backs? Yeah, two backs, and then whatever combination of pockets you want. So I've got a front bib pocket. It does come with the option of putting pockets in the front, which I don't like the pockets that it comes with in the front, which is why I didn't put them in. But I think another time what I might do is create the pockets where they have like a curve like that. So I might actually make a pattern piece to do that. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. And then obviously you've got the back pockets as well. And the reason I think this is a really good make is because it, like I say, there are no fastenings. You don't even have to do buttonholes. You could put buttonholes on if you wanted, and if you didn't want these ties, but I quite like them. And once they're on and they're tied into place, so long as your fabric isn't stretchy, which this isn't, you can just take it on and off really easily, you know, when you need to go to the loo. And you haven't then got really long ties which might go on the floor, which, you know, nobody wants that, do they? Nobody wants straps of their clothing going on the floor of a toilet. So yeah, I really like this. I just sort of pulled this out of my cupboard this morning and thought, yeah, that's going to be really comfy for today. Although I'm already, can you see, like, I'm already going like that to try and put my hands in pockets which aren't there. So I think I do need to make them with pockets if I'm having dungarees, but I am in the middle of making dungarees at the moment, which I will show you later on in the week because I'm very excited about them. The other thing I was going to quickly show you was in my 2023 diary. So I really like this one. I just got this off of Amazon. It's by Box Clever. This is not an advert. This is just me talking. I quite like it because you've got a data page and you've got the bit where you can put in your appointments, but it's also got a to-do list for every single day. And it's got another thing down here, which is things I must, is it? Today's crucial tasks, it says, which I quite like. But the reason I was going to show you this, not because of how the diary is set out, but in the front of any diary, you normally have a year planner or a year calendar. And this is for 2024, this is for 2023. And what I've done in this one is I've gone through and I've highlighted certain things and I've put a key all the way around, and I probably will add to this as I go, because I just thought it would try and help me be a bit more on top of things in the house. So this is nothing to do with sewing, I'm really sorry, but I just thought I would share it with you because I thought maybe it might help somebody else, I don't know. So I have highlighted weeks at a time. I haven't done it so that I've got to do something on that day, but I've done things like, for instance, I'll tell you what my categories are. I've got clean the oven. So that is at some point in that week, I need to clean my oven. Like really thoroughly, and I put that in sort of when I think that's going to be appropriate to do that. So I'm certainly not going to be doing that, excuse me, every week or every month. I've got that because clean it down anyway, but like a proper take everything out and really give it a good old clean. I've put that in for every couple of months, and then I've got things like thorough fridge and kitchen clean, so you know, taking everything out of the cupboards and all that kind of thing, all the doors down. I've got a windows one. I've got a deep dust and clean. I dust every week, but I'm talking about proper pulling out the furniture and what have you. I feel a bit silly saying this now, I'm saying it. I've got another one which is clean the Hoover. Another one which is do a deep clean on the dishwasher, tumble dryer, washing machine. And then I've got some spare weeks where I have highlighted and I've just put choose a room or project. And I think I've got 9 of those in the year. So I just thought, well, that's a really good idea to sort of think, actually, there's this cupboard that I've really been wanting to sort out, or that I really want to do something with that room, or anything. Could be anything, could be the garden. So I've kind of organised it like that, with the idea of each week I'll just quickly look at the front of my diary and go, what's on the agenda for this week? The agenda for this week is deep dust and clean, which is a bit grim. However, what I will say is literally a week ago, we did that when we took down our decorations, or several days ago when we took down our decorations, and my husband and I both pulled everything out, cleaned everything and what have you. So I might not have to go that crazy this week. We'll see. And then I've done a couple of other little things where I've highlighted sort of when I know I've got days off. So I'm normally off on a Thursday and Friday. So I've like highlighted, where is it? Like Thursdays and Fridays here. And I've done it in different colours. And I've put a couple of days to go through and sort and clear out emails. So if I do that on a regular basis, if I do that on a monthly basis, then hopefully I can unsubscribe from things which for some reason I'm now subscribed to, which I hadn't realised. You know, sometimes you go into a shop and they say, can I email your receipt? And then that's it. You just get all their emails from that shop. So it's a time to go through, make sure I delete everything, unsubscribe from things that I don't want to be subscribed to anymore. And then I've also got another one for photos, phone photos, where you just end up taking loads and loads and loads. I don't know if anybody's like me, but I screenshot things or take photos of things and think, oh, I'll look at that later, and then I never do. So if obviously the first couple of times of doing that is going to be horrendous, but then I'm thinking if I do it on a regular basis, that should be quite good, and I should be able to sort through things quite quickly. Anyway, I've talked for way too long on the first part of my day. I'm going to get on with some work. Bye. Hiya, so it's Tuesday today and it is the end of the day. It is about 4:45. I'm going to do a very, very quick video today because I've got a physio appointment and I've got to rush off and do that, and I'm going to have to change. But I wanted to share with you what I had on today. I'm wearing my new Sew Over Ada dress that I made out of fabric from Rainbow Fabric Kilburn, and it's a really nice, simple dress. It has like an empire seam here with a little bit of gathering under each bust, and it's got a zip down the back. It's then just got these panels, like a front panel, side panels, and then obviously the back panels. It's got a little bit of an A-line to it. I can sort of go back enough, I can show you that it comes to just above my knee, but I think I did actually take a little bit of the length off of it, and it's got these gorgeous sheared cuff detailing, which I think I said in my video when I was doing my makes video that I just need to make them a little bit longer. I feel like they're just a bit too short when I go like that, but yeah. So I've got home today. I've been at school today working. My daughter was home during the day, and she's now gone to work, but she messaged me to say, oh, by the way, Mum, there is a loaf that I've cooked in the bread maker today, and I've just got home and taken it out. Look at that. I wish I could share with you some sort of smell through the through the screen, because, oh my gosh, that smells amazing. And I'm trying to eat really healthily at the moment, but I'm going to have a slice of that. There's just no getting away from it. I'm going to have a slice because there's nothing better than freshly cooked bread, is there? As it just smells so amazing. Anyway, I'm going to quickly leave you there, and I might come back a little bit later on tonight because I'm going to do a bit of sewing tonight. So I will see you later. Anyway, bye. Hiya, so I've had my physio appointment and I've changed. I've got nothing me made on now. I've just got a sports top and shorts on. I've got a bit of a problem with my knee, and I do that thing where I just try and ignore it, but sometimes it's just a bit too much, and running and what have you can really irritate it and hurt it. So I've had my legs worked on tonight, and they're very sore. So I've got to get lots of stretches done, and I'm going to be a good girl, and I'm going to do all the stretches that I've been told to do. So yeah. Anyway, not that you want to know that. So I have popped up to my sewing room. I'm waiting to have my tea, but it's just cooking at the moment. We're having a creamy sweet corn and leek chowder tonight, and I'm going to have that with that fresh loaf of bread that Helen's just cooked. So that's very exciting. So what am I doing? First of all, I thought I'd show you this. This isn't really sewing related, it's more knitting related, but in my plans video that I did for January, I said that I was going to make a jumper, and I started making that jumper a couple of days ago. I'm really enjoying doing the knitting, but I've just ripped the whole thing back to the start again because I just had this feeling that I was doing it wrong. There's lots of things in it that I've not done before. So there's things like, you know, wrapping a stitch and then turning. So there's like these short rows, so you're knitting along in one direction, and then you have to stop, do something fancy, turn it around and go back the other way, and there's making stitches to the left and making stitches to the right and what have you. So I feel like, oh, I'm not really sure I've done it right. So I've ripped it all back and thought, right, I'm just going to start again. But I thought what would really help is to have some stitch markers, because you're meant to go to certain places, and I can't quite remember where those certain places are, and they're not always obvious to me because I'm not that au fait with knitting. So I've just bought a really small packet of these stitch markers. Now I bought some stitch markers for my daughter, so they open up, they're like a safety pin kind of thing, so you hook that around and you just put that around your knitting needle when you're knitting, when you want to mark a particular place. So it might be that it's a shoulder seam or something like that. But yeah, so that's what I've got, and they just came in a little bag. I did just get them from Amazon, but my daughter who knits, I got her some stitch markers for Christmas, and I bought her some really pretty ones. So this is what I bought, just some really cheap little plastic ones, but hers are all like bundles of wool and all that kind of thing, and they just look so lovely and so sweet. So I'm going to see if I can find a picture of them, and I'll put them up on the screen. But they're really lovely, but because I don't knit that often, I didn't think I warranted really fancy stitch markers, so I've just got some little cheeky ones. Anyway, what I am sewing at the moment, I am sewing my Quick Sew K3897 dungarees, and I'm making them because I know I put a bit of a vote on, didn't I? What should I make? Now, loads of people said I should make it out of this fabric, which is what I am currently making them out of. However, I've already made them in the other fabric, and they're too small for me. So my daughter has now got them. So I will be sharing those in my makes video at the end of this month, but I was devastated. So I've traced the pattern out again, and I've made them a little bit bigger, and I'm making them out of this fabric, which I think was my favourite anyway. And this fabric is a really tiny baby needle cord that I bought from Make Up 140. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous fabric, but I'm doing that. But I think I've just heard my husband shout down and say, I think tea's ready. So I'm going to go and have that, and then I'm going to carry on sewing this when I come up a little bit later. What have I got? I'll try and show you what I've got left to sew on it. So I've already put together the front legs with the pockets. Oh, but I need to actually sew the pockets together. So they're all pinned together, ready to go. I've top stitched and got all of the straps ready. I've put together the facing on the back, which looks lovely. And I've put a little label on it, and this is all meant to be overlocked, but I've just sort of ironed it back so I can top stitch it down rather than overlocking it, so it'll look really nice and neat. And it's quite interesting actually, this is the 4th time of making these dungarees, and each time, not for myself, but each time I have improved a little bit on the way in which I've made it. So it might be, you know, a bit that I realise I need to overlock or do something with, which isn't necessarily in the instructions, which is great, and I mark it on the instructions each time I do it. So yes, so I've got the legs, the front legs and pockets to do. I have got the backs of them done, they're all sewn up together. And can you see the pocket? There's the pocket there that I really carefully pattern matched that in. Tried to do that as well as I possibly could. I think I've got the back pockets really well pattern matched. So they come down here, look. And I'm really, really chuffed with how that's looking. But I don't think I got the front bib quite as bang on as that, which is a bit of a shame, and I don't really know why. So it does kind of match all the way along there and around. I think it's just around here it doesn't match quite as well, but on the whole it's matched quite well. So there's the opening of the pocket. But yeah, I've really tried to pattern match that as best as I can, and I'm really pleased with that. So yeah, so I need to, what do I need to do? I need to attach the, I need to sew the pockets up on the front, and then I need to start sewing the straps on the back and the facing, which I think will look really nice on there, and then start attaching the fronts and the backs together. So I've got quite a bit to do, and I certainly won't do all of that tonight, but I might be able to get quite a few bits done, and at some point I wouldn't mind sitting down and starting casting on that knitting again as well. So anyway, I will catch you up with all of that a little bit later. Bye. Hiya, so it is Wednesday today and I've been at work all day today. So again, I didn't have a chance to record anything this morning because it was too much of a rush by the time I sort of got my lunch ready and got changed and all the rest of it. I feel like I'm wrapped up and bundled up like this, and I feel like I've been like this all day today. Basically, it is wet, cold, grey and miserable here, and it has been for the last few days. Today's been a bit drier. It was really blustery and rainy and horrible yesterday, and I think it's going to be like that again tomorrow. But oh my gosh, it just makes you feel cold even if you're warm, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so today I've got a ready to wear cardigan on. I've got on a really old sort of ready to wear scarf. Are there such things as ready to wear scarf? I suppose it is. You can make your own, can't you? Which is, I'm a bit double leopard print, which is a bit, not sure if that's kind of okay. I think I've only got 2 leopard print items in my whole entire wardrobe, or animal print, you know, print in my wardrobe, and for some reason I've worn them together today. Anyway, I've got this scarf and I've got on my grey Tilly and the Buttons cocoa, is it cocoa? Yeah, cocoa dress, and I'm going to try and show you. So it is like a t-shirt dress, and it comes down to sort of just below halfway up my thigh, and I've got a pair of really big thick black tights on. It's 3/4 length sleeve, and it's a t-shirt fabric. I think the garment's meant to be made in a thicker fabric, but I've made 2 of these and I've only ever made them in a t-shirt jersey, and they work really well. I really like them. I didn't really know what to wear this morning. I hadn't prepared it the night before, which was a bit silly, and I just thought, do you know what, I'm gonna just put something on that's easy to wear. And I've not worn this to work before because I've thought, is it a bit short? But I thought, I've got such big thick black tights on, it should be okay. So yeah, that's what I've gone for today. So I'm wearing that. I've been to school, I've been at work all day. My husband is very, very, very kindly cooking tea tonight, which is really lovely of him. And I am going to get changed. I'm going to go to boot camp. My leg is a little bit sore from the physio that I had last night, but I'm just going to go really careful. So I'm going to go and do boot camp. And when I come back, I'm going to do a little bit more of my sewing, but I probably won't share any more of it now because, well, I don't want to just share the same thing day in, day out, because that will just be a bit boring for you. But I will update you to show you what I have done so far. So last night I eventually put together the bib and did all the pockets around here. I have hand stitched in the facing of the bib, so there's the bib, the right side, and there's the facing there. So I've hand stitched this along here, so it's all nicely in place for when I do all the top stitching on the correct side. So if you imagine, that's what that's going to be like that, with a pocket in there. And I'm going to do a row of stitching along here to create sort of like a waistband type image, as it were. Double top stitching along there, double top stitching all around here. I'm then going to, obviously eventually I'll join the legs together, but that's the front section. Then on the back section, I did a load of the stitching in last night. I actually attached the straps last night. So this is the back of the dungarees. Sorry, I can't unfold it. It's all like stuck together. I think it's because it's the the corduroy, like it's a bit velvety and it sort of it drags when you're trying to move it. So this has got a seam down here. I don't know if you can see that. So it's got a seam going down the center there, which is all double top stitch, which I think I had already done that when I showed it to you last night. And I've attached these straps, which I definitely did last night, and I've attached the facing, and I'm really pleased with how that's come out, because like I say, I've ironed that all down, and I've got the little label on there which says be strong, be happy, be you. And I don't know if I showed that well enough to show you last night, so I'll bring it up a bit closer to the camera so you can see it. But I quite like that. I think that's quite nice, and it goes quite well with the fabric, I think. So I've pinned that all in place, all ready to stitch in, and I've also ironed down and pinned in place all of the sides of the dungarees as well. So then once that little bit's done and the top stitching on the front's done, it's just literally going to be a case of joining the side seams and the inside leg seam and then hemming it. So I'm putting the buckles and things on here, so I'm really excited about that. Again, I don't think I'll finish that tonight, but I'm going to try my hardest to get quite a bit done. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to rush, and if I make a mistake, instead of kind of going, oh, I'm just going to sidle along that and try and, you know, mask over, it'll be fine, I'm trying to make sure I unpick and start again and just be really good. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how these are turning out, and I'm quite excited about wearing them. I am nervous because they are quite bold, but I think that with a nice white t-shirt underneath will look lovely. Anyway, so that's my dungarees, and that's my project for later on tonight. I don't think there's any more of that there. I didn't actually end up casting on any of my knitting last night. If I'm honest, I was just too tired. I sat down in front of the TV with my husband and I just kind of went like that and didn't do anything. So tomorrow I've actually got a day off. I'm going to the gym in the morning. I'm going for a little bit of a run afterwards, and then I'm going to come home. I'm meant to be potentially seeing a friend, but she hasn't confirmed yet, in the afternoon, and I'm going to try when I get home later on this evening. I did quite a big cleanup yesterday. After I finished work and before doing my sewing, I did a bit of a cleanup. So and after the physio. And I'm going to try and do a bit of finishing off of that tonight, so that tomorrow I can literally sort of just have a day to myself doing what I need to do and what I want to do, except for a few bits of washing. I'll do a few bits of washing and stuff. So yeah, so I think that's all I've got to share with you. Although I did have somebody in work asked me if I could fix their trousers for them, because the zip on their trousers has broken. So I brought them home. If I'm absolutely honest, I wanted to say no, but I just didn't know how to say no. I felt like I was being really rude by going no, because it's going to take quite a lot longer than I think people realise, because basically the zip on the trousers are broken. So and I don't think she watches these videos, but if she does, and you are, I'm really sorry, and I hope you don't think I'm being rude. But obviously I had to unpick all of the zip because the zip was broken. Had to unpick it all, and it's not just where the zip is, all of the facings that come down on the zip, I've had to unpick all of those, and of course it's in black, which is horrible to unpick, and I'm gonna have to go and buy a zip as well, aren't I? Didn't even think about that. So I'm gonna have to go and buy a zip and then put that in and fix it, and then once I've done that, I'm going to come up with something I say to people when they ask me to fix their clothes, so that I don't do it again, because I just want to sew for myself and my girls, which sounds really selfish, but I have very limited time to sew when I do get a chance to sew, and I don't really want to be spending my time just fixing other people's clothes, and that sounds really rude, and I feel awful saying that, but I'm sure quite a lot of you are in the same position where your time is precious, and I really feel like my time is precious. And yeah, it's not just because I enjoy sewing doesn't mean I enjoy fixing other people's clothes. I enjoy the creative bit. I enjoy putting together the dungarees, choosing the fabric, choosing the pattern, and that kind of thing. Now, I did want to say to you, so anyway, sorry, yes, I'm going from one conversation to another. Things are popping into my head and I'm going, oh, and what about this? Yes, so I'm going to fix those because I have taken them and I've unpicked the zip. So I will finish those and get that sorted. But yeah, I don't really want to make a habit of doing that. And I might just say to her when I pass them back, can you not sort of shout about the fact that I fixed them for you, because I don't really tend to fix people's clothes. hopefully she'll understand. Anyway, I was going to say to you that I picked up some printing on Monday, and I have picked up something called the MS Spring Trousers. Now, I'm going to grab the pattern just a second. Sorry about that, I was just grabbing the printing and I couldn't find where they were. So yes, I've picked up some printing, some A0, and I like I say, I got these printed from Net Printer, and because they're local to me, I just go and pick them up, which is great. So I've printed out this pair of trousers. Now I saw somebody make this on the Minerva website, and I fell in love with the trousers straight away. Now I know this can be a bit of a contentious conversation, so please, I hope I don't offend anybody, but I have been changing shape, shall we say, over the last little while, and that's a combination of, I used to do lots and lots of exercise and really healthily, to going from doing so much exercise to doing absolutely nothing, to then trying to do a little bit, then having a bit of an injury. I haven't been eating all that well because, well, I don't really know why, I just haven't had any willpower. And also on top of that, I think my age has got something to do with it. So lots of hormones flying around and things changing and all that kind of thing. And I am 100% changing shape, and I have got a huge amount of clothes ready to wear and homemade that no longer fit me. And I have to say, a little while ago, it's part of what stopped my sewing passion, really, because I felt like I didn't want to make clothes that were bigger than what I would normally make, but then I got really upset if things didn't fit me. And case in point, I made the dungarees the other day for my daughter, which I was hoping to make. I'll just show you the fabric actually, just in case you didn't see the video, but I was going to make the same dungarees as I'm making at the moment out of this fabric for myself. And I made them thinking that I was making them the correct size, and I actually made them just a little bit too small. Now that's not just me saying that, you know, I've changed shape. That was a bit of a mistake on my part, but I find it really upsetting. And I don't want to say that it's because I'm putting weight on, which obviously I am, but it's not just that. My body itself is changing shape because I'm no longer a 20-year-old, and I've had 3 children, and, you know, like I say, my age and all the rest of it. And I hope this isn't upsetting anybody, but I wanted to say it really upsets me, and I'm really struggling with it. But I know that the styles that I really like, I like certain things and the way they look, but when I make the things and I put them on, they don't feel like what I think they should look like, if that makes any sense. And I know I'm very lucky, I'm fairly slim, but I'm not the person that I was, and I'm not the shape that I was. And I think that's what I'm trying to get across, is that I'm not the shape that I was, and I feel like I'm trying to find things that I feel comfortable in but still feel really nice in. Does anybody else have that kind of sensation, that feeling? I'm probably just rambling, and like I say, I hope that it's okay saying this, but I think it's really good to be honest and share things. Anyway, so I have decided I want a really smart pair of trousers. I like the idea of a thin waist or a small waist coming out into big sort of flary pleated trousers, and sort of quite wide leg, really long trousers. But all of the trousers that I have looked at, they are all with a waistband which is, you know, totally tailored and flat. So I saw this pattern on Minerva website, and I saw somebody had made it, and I'll put the name of the person along the bottom, and if I can, I'll try and remember to put the link into the Minerva blog post as well. So I hope this lady doesn't mind me sharing her photos, but they're in the world to see, so hopefully that's okay. But they're absolutely gorgeous in this beautiful sort of limey green, I think it's a linen fabric or something like that. And I like the fact that they look like a really smart pair of trousers, but they've got an elasticated waistband, and I thought that I would give them a go. Anyway, very long story to say, this is the printing that I've picked up. So from that, I've gone to how I feel about my life and my shape and my clothes and all the rest of it. It was a very long-winded way of telling you these are the trouser patterns I've picked up. And I'm going to try and make them at some point. Anyway, maybe you could have a chat to me in the comments, or maybe you could share your thoughts and things, because I'm sure I'm not alone in the way that I feel. I think I'm going to stop there for today because I feel like if I don't, I'm going to open a whole can of worms. Anyway, speak to you later. Bye. Hiya, so it's Thursday today, and yet again it's the evening. So today I have been at home. I went to the gym this morning and I went for a run, which was great, and my knee felt kind of okay, so that's good. But it's hurt a bit since. And then I came home, got showered and dressed and what have you, went and saw a friend of mine, and then when I got home, Ellen and I went to Dunelm and Hobbycraft. I just needed to pick up a few bits and pieces, a zip for the trousers that I'm repairing, and Ellen wanted to look at some bedding and bits and pieces in Dunelm. So it's been quite a nice sort of day and a bit of a bimble, except for the fact that I really wanted to get the house a bit cleared up, and I also wanted to do lots and lots of sewing, and I haven't done any of that, and I could do some this evening, but I am going out tonight. I'm actually going for the first time to a place called Saltram House, which is a National Trust house here in Plympton, and I'm going to go to a choir for the first time. I'm going to try it out. So a friend of mine has asked me to go along, and I'm really nervous actually, and I want to get changed. I want to put something a bit nicer on than what I've got on. I've just had on really, well, I feel like I've been a bit scruffy today, but I've just felt like I needed to be warm and cozy, although I still don't feel like I've been warm all day. So I've got on a pair of ready-to-wear walking trousers, I've got on a ready-to-wear vest top, and then I've just chucked over my Nora, Tilly and the Buttons Nora sweatshirt, which is quite a nice sweatshirt. It's got a dropped shoulder, nice roomy sleeves. It's very, very boxy like this. I quite like it. I think it would look nice if it was sort of like tucked in with like a belt or something, maybe like this underneath, with like a really stylish pair of trousers in a different fabric. I don't think this one does, but I quite like it with what I've got on. I got this fabric from, I want to say I got it from Crafty So-and-So. I think that's where I got it from. Now, the only thing with the Nora that I'm not keen on are the sleeves, because they don't come in, and I think I would like to make, if I make another Nora, I'd like to make another one, but with this, some sleeves that actually sort of just pinch in around the cuff a little bit, because I just find them a bit sort of floppy and I end up rolling them up, and yeah, anyway. But I do like this sweatshirt. I do wear it a lot. I would never get rid of it. And even when I went to Hobbycraft today and I was buying the zips, the lady said, "Oh, I love your jumper. Where did you get that from?" I went, "Oh, I made it." She went, "Oh, did you?" It's always really nice when that happens. I always feel a bit embarrassed, but I'm always like, "Oh, that's quite good that someone asked." So I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go and cook my tea and get that all ready. Hopefully be able to do that in time before I get picked up to go to this choir. And then I'm going to, and I'm also going to go and get changed. I don't know what I'm going to get changed into yet. If I get changed into something that's handmade, I will show you. But otherwise, I'm going to come back tomorrow. And tomorrow, I don't care what else is going on. Selfishly, I am sewing. I am seeing Helen tomorrow from Stitch Rip Repeat. So I'll speak to her tomorrow. And if I get a chance to, I'll say hello with her on the camera as well, so we can say hello to you. But she's coming over for a catch up and a bit of a cuppa, so a cuppa and a bit of a catch up, should I say. But other than that, I'm going to sew. That's all I want to do tomorrow. So anyway, I shall love you and leave you there for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hiya, it's Friday morning and I am still in my pajamas. But I thought I would just quickly share with you, because part of the pajamas are me made. You've seen these hundreds of times before because they are my absolute favourite pair of pyjama bottoms. It's a ready-to-wear top, a really old ready-to-wear top, which I think says Wild at Heart, but it's so old, look, it's all like rubbed off. But I've got this on with my True Bias Hudson pants. Absolutely love these, and yeah, I have got a few pairs of these, but these are my favourite, made out of a fabric, cheap fabric from Hobbycraft years and years ago. And they are actually the white of the waistband and the white of the thing. They are starting to look a little bit grey from where they've gone through the wash so many times, but I still love them. I think eventually I'm going to have to part with them, which is very sad, and then I have to try and find another fabric which is as similar as possible. Anyway, I am still in my pyjamas. It's 10 o'clock, but I'm still in them because I've been doing lots and lots of housework, so I'm going to get changed in a minute and throw these out. I've got Helen from Stitch Rip Repeat coming around in about half an hour, so I've really got to get changed quickly. I've just got washed and cleaned my teeth and what have you, so I'm going to get changed. And I did go to the choir last night, and I wore my Tilly and the Buttons Freya cowl dress that I've got, and I didn't share it with you last night because it was just too late by the time I got home. But because I only had it on for a couple of hours last night, I'm going to put that on again today. So I will show you that in a little bit, and when I say hello with Helen as well. But yeah, so I have done loads of housework this morning. I'm quite pleased with what I've done. I am going to see Helen, and then I'm going to do some sewing. 100% going to do some sewing, although there's a couple of things I do need to do. I need to go to the post office and send some bits and pieces off, so I will do that as well. But while I've been doing my housework this morning, I just wanted to share, I've been watching lots of YouTube videos. I tend to either listen to podcasts or music, or sometimes I'll put a series on from Netflix when I'm doing housework, just so it's on in the background, so it's like a bit of company when I'm here at home on my own, or when I'm sewing or what have you. But I've been watching some YouTube videos this morning, which I do as well, but I just wanted to mention Liz from The Baker That Sews. I've watched her Make 9, or her take on Make 9 this morning, and I absolutely loved watching it, because she has decided not to take part in Make 9 in the way that you would normally do, and she's doing it. Well, I'm not going to share it with you. Go and watch it, because I thought it was really inspiring. I have failed with Make 9 for the last few years, so I've decided not to take part in it this year. And I'm still not going to take part in it, even though I've watched Liz's video. But it has made me rethink about how I'm going to plan future makes. So I think it's worth a watch. Go and have a little look, and she's got some really great ideas on there. Anyway, so I'll try and link it in the description below here as well, so that you can go and have a little look. But yeah, really great. And yeah, I've been watching some unboxings and getting a little bit of FOMO, because I've been watching some Sew Hayley Jane unboxings, which I used to absolutely love getting, but I've just got so much fabric I had to make a stop. But yeah, I watched Helen's from Stitch Repeat that's coming around this morning, and yeah, so I am in the middle of watching a Guthrie Ghani video, and I'm going to go back to that while I'm getting changed, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hiya, so I have just had Helen around, and I didn't do any filming because poor Helen has really not been very well. She has been very poorly, and she didn't sound very well while she was here, bless her. So we've had a good old catch up and a chin wag and lots of cups of tea. So I am now just going to pop down to my local little sort of villagey shopping place that's near me, because I've got a piece of post that needs to go off, or a parcel that needs to go off. I'm sending some fabric up to Karen, so I'm going to send that off in a second. So I'll show you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Freya cowl neck dress, which I've shown you lots of times before, so nothing new there, and it's made out of this melange fabric that I bought from Minerva Craft a few years ago. So really nice sort of little dress. I've got that on with grey thick tights, and I've got my knee-high boots on, and I'm going to walk down to the shops, and I'm going to put that on with my new Sew Over It Jessie Coatigan, I think it's Jessie Coatigan, which I have to say I am really loving. The fabric isn't brilliant, it is pilling a lot, but I've bought this pilling thing, and it does work actually, it's really good. So I will go over it properly. I just went over a few bits the other day and got it all off, but this is an oversized cardigan slash coat, and it has no fastenings on it. It's a very easy make. It's quite oversized, and it has nice pockets. I showed you this on a makes video recently, so I've done this lovely fabric for the pockets, and I've got them in there, and I've sewn them in, and I've done all of the bias binding all the way around, so I've got that on there. And did I put the label on? Which side? Yes, this side. And I've got a label which is actually the same label as I'm putting in my dungarees, which I didn't realise until I looked at this a moment ago. So yeah, so I am wearing that down to the shops. That should keep me nice and warm. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to sew. Anyway, speak to you later. Bye. Hello. Yes, I know I look a bit different. It's Friday today. No, it's not Friday today. It's Saturday today. And I decided to diffuse my hair this morning. Now I have got quite a strong wave in my hair, but I always think, oh, it's not strong enough, and I'll just straighten it. But I've diffused it this morning, and it's gone a little bit wild. I'm gonna have to do something with it. I will like pin it up or something, because I quite like the idea of having it like that. But anyway, I put a little bit of mousse in it, and I diffused it, you know, with one of those big things. And yeah, I don't know. I'm here on my own, so I'm having a bit of a play. Anyway, that's my hair today, looking a little bit shaggy and a little bit wild. Anyway, it is Saturday today. I'm at home on my own. I have spent the entire morning getting the house absolutely tip-top condition. And I am now going to finish my dungarees, and I'm so excited about finishing them. I started to get a little bit worried that they weren't fitting me properly, and I sewed up the side seams and the inner leg seam last night, and I tried them on and they fit really nicely, and I'm so delighted with them. So keep an eye out if you'd like to see those on my makes video that'll be coming out at the end of this month. So if you want to be notified of that, make sure you press that notification bell and subscribe and blah, 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 all the rest of it. Anyway, today I have got on a ready-to-wear cardigan, which is very old, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. I've got on just a little vest top, and then I've got on my Megan Nielsen Brumby skirt, which you've seen from me quite a few times. It's quite a nice skirt. It's got an exposed red zip. I've done all the top stitching, if you can see that in the light, in red. I've put nice pretty red linings in. I've even done that on the facings of the waistband. Not that you see those, you only really see these, I suppose, but yeah, I quite like this. I thought that was quite a nice little look today. I was going to put it on with a jumper, but I thought, no, I want something red. I want something nice and bright. So this cardigan, I remember buying this. I want to say I bought it from Debenhams, which is now no longer even open, is it? So that shows how long ago it was. But I reckon I bought this when my children were quite young, and I bought a black one, a red one, and a grey one. They must have been on sale, because I don't know why I would have bought three just all in one go, but yeah, certainly wouldn't have bought them at full price. And I quite like this because it's just a little bit of a splash of colour, and you can wear it with, you know, pattern things underneath or plain things, but it is really old. And although probably on the screen it doesn't look particularly old or anything, but when you look at it up close, you know, when sort of cotton knitted fabric starts to just look a bit worn and a bit sort of tired and not quite as bright as it was, and that's what this is looking like, really. So I would like to make the True Bias Marlowe cardigan. Now, I've made it before. I've got it here. I made it before in a fabric that I bought from Guthrie Ghani, and the fabric is absolutely beautiful. It is so super soft and really, really lovely, but it does not match this cardigan at all. And the reason it doesn't match it, and it's either because of a mistake that I've made, or it just genuinely isn't the best for it, it's too floppy and sloppy. And the versions that I've seen of the Marlowe cardigan, they just look a little bit more structured, a bit of a thicker fabric. So I am now going to be on the hunt for a really nice pillar box red fabric that I can use for the Marlowe cardigan, and I'd really like to make it in something that looks a bit knitted. I don't particularly want it in a Pontoroma or something like that. So I know that you can get knit look fabrics, or fabrics that are actually knitted, and then you can buy them on the roll. So I'd like to do that. And I didn't put any buttons on this because once I'd started making it, I realised it was a bit of a flop. But it's not wasted, because of an evening when I put my pyjamas on, if it's just a t-shirt on the pyjamas, I'll just chuck this on over the top and it just keeps me warm. It's all sloppy, it's all soft, nobody else sees it, it doesn't matter. So it hasn't gone to waste, and I really like it, but I certainly wouldn't wear it out of the house. I did once or twice, and then I saw some photos of me in it and I was like, oh, that looks awful. So I won't be wearing it out again. So yeah, so I like the Marlowe. I'd like to have a go at it again, and I'd like to do it in a red colour, and then if I like that and it's successful, I'll explore some other colours as well. I've got lots of different cardigan patterns that I'd like to try. Nice long line ones, shorter ones, nice fitting ones. I might do a video on all the cardigan patterns I've got. Now, I haven't made cardigans, and that's something I really want to do this year. I'd like to make some more cardigans that are actually sewn up as opposed to me knitting them. So let me know in the comments, actually, if you'd like to see a video on lots of different cardigan patterns that I own, that I don't necessarily, or I haven't necessarily made up, and maybe we can have a chat about what cardigans I try and what ones you have. Let me know. You might not be interested, just Anyway, let me know. So this morning, like I say, I have done a massive blitz on the house. I've changed all of the beds except for this one because I've put all of those in the wash, and I'll wait until they're all done. I'll do this one tomorrow. But I've done all the beds. I've just made a really nice homemade tomato soup, and I'm going to go and have that for my lunch in a minute, which would be lovely. And my husband's on a first aid course, and my other daughter is working, but she and her boyfriend will be home about 3-4 o'clock-ish. So I've got a couple of hours now, about 3 or 4 hours now, to be able to just sew and think about what we're going to have for our tea tonight, which I'm not quite sure yet what that's going to be. But I'm not going to video again this week. I know it's not a full week. I've only done Monday to Saturday, but it has been such grotty weather here that I haven't been able to take you anywhere. Normally on these 1 week me made videos, I like to take you out somewhere, either if it's when I go shopping or I go out for a nice walk or something like that. But literally it has been the most torrential rain practically all week. And on the days where it hasn't been raining, I've just been too busy to do that. So I'm sorry it's not been the most interesting of weeks. And I hope you've kind of enjoyed it anyway. And if you haven't, don't worry, it's fine. But I just wanted to finish off with stepping back into a conversation that I had earlier in the week when I was talking about not feeling great about body shape and feeling like I'd lost my sewing passion quite a few months ago, when I felt like I couldn't sew something because I thought, oh, I might slim down a bit, or, you know, what have you. And I wanted to point you in the direction of a video that Lauren from Guthrie Ghani has brought out literally a couple of days ago. And I'll put the link in the description below. I can't remember, I should have checked first before I started videoing, but I can't remember what the name of the video is. It's not sewing resolutions or New Year resolutions, because she specifically says that's not what the video is about, but it's about sort of being inspired and trying to help your sewing motivation and all that kind of thing. And I found it really interesting. And the last point that she made was about people who don't sew because they think that they might gain weight, or they might lose weight, or they want to gain weight, or they want to lose weight, or so they're just waiting before they make that item that they want to make when they are the perfect size that they want to be, or what have you. And it really resonated with me, because that is what I have been doing, and it's made me sort of give myself a bit of a talking to and go, do you know what? I'm just going to make things that I can wear right now. And do you know what? If in 6 months' time they don't fit me, then that's so be it, because I could buy clothes and that would happen. And I know if you buy clothes, there isn't the painstaking process of making it, but actually you're still not going to be wearing those clothes because, you know, you've changed shape or you've changed size or what have you. And the part of sewing that I enjoy is actually sewing it. Yes, I love wearing the clothes, and I really love it when I find a garment that I really like and I want to wear it over and over again and all that kind of thing. Yes, of course, I like that. But I do really love the process of sewing. Dungarees, case in point, I've now made 4 pairs of these dungarees, and I'm enjoying this 4th pair just as much as I've enjoyed sewing the other ones. The process of it, the top stitching, the realizing that the last time I made it, it would have been better if I'd done it this way, so now adjusting it on that one and learning from that experience and making sure I note it down, even down to silly things like I didn't lengthen this pattern and I'm going to have to do a very narrow hem on the legs because I haven't lengthened it quite enough. But just things like that, just that learning process is just as much enjoyment and just as great an experience and enriching as it is just wearing the clothes. So if I make something and it fits me perfectly now and it makes me feel really great now, brilliant. If I can't fit into that, or it's too big or too small in 6 months' time or 12 months' time or whenever it might be, well, I have to learn from that and make a new item, and maybe pass that really loved item on to somebody else that it will fit. So I hope that that's okay, touching back on that subject. But the very fact that I had said that and then I'd watched that video and it just really resonated with me, I really wanted to just touch back on it and give you some more of my thoughts. Anyway, I am going to leave it there for this week. I have really enjoyed doing this week because I feel like I haven't done it for a little while. I tried to dabble in a bit of Vlogmas, but that just all went a bit pear-shaped over Christmas because I was just too busy. So I didn't do a 1 week me made during December, and I just feel like it's something that I've done for a while now, and I really enjoy doing it, and I love seeing all your comments and sort of having a bit of a chit chat in the comments below. So please do let me know if you've enjoyed it, what you thought your favourite garment was that I've made this week. Let me know what garment you're making, or what your thoughts are maybe on some of the things I've spoken to you about. That would be really great. But other than that, I'm going to say I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye.